It is with joy that I welcome you to this edition of Topics and Realities over Royal 88.4 FM. Topics and Realities is your talk show program where we capture the topic and debate on it, make it a reality in your life. And our teaser questions for today: Human Rights Watch, Transparency International have found the government of Cameroon wanting in the transparent management of International Monetary Fund emergency fund loan offered the country to fight against the coronavirus pandemic. We are going to be talking about that with our experts in this edition of the program Topics and Realities. And as our main topic for today, 7 political parties have come together to push for electoral reforms in Cameroon. Looking at the political landscape in Cameroon, how possible would that be? We have politicians who are also here in the studio. We have people of the civil society who are here with us. The team keeping you company this afternoon is made up of Karopoda Stento, is our copyright clerk. Ivish Kemo is our sound engineer, plus our video editor on our Facebook page, Royal FM Cameroon. Topics and Realities is a production of Royal FM with editorial question coming from Jean-Pascal Tala. Coordination is done by our own station manager, Bertrand Owona. General supervision is ensured by Reverend Pastor Emmanuel Nobisai. For presentation, my name is Abel Bela Samaria. I am the son of Danki, and I'm the one moderating this program. I'll be right back after this music.
et minéralière. Nous sommes victimes de l'endettement à croissance exponentielle et baignant dans l'économie sous perfusion. C'est la mondialisation de l'économie à sens unique, avec la pensée unique du maître à penser. Réveille-toi, Afrique.
If you are just tuning in, the program is Topics and Realities, coming to you from Royal 88.4 FM. It is the talk show, and our access quota this morning is 655 54 3457, 655 54 3457, or it goes to 671 157321. Those are our access codes for all that we are going to be discussing with us. And with us in this studio, we already have some of our guests who are already here. And I begin with you, Mr. John Niba, who is here with us this afternoon. John Niba is a teacher and a popular opinion holder. He's a civil society activist. Good afternoon to you, Mr. John Niba.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to you, Abel Bella Samari.
It has been a while.
Yeah, with the tight schedule in Yaoundé now, you know, and then with our houses saturated with internally displaced young children from the northwest and southwest, it is very difficult. We have to double our hustling, so we don't have much time again. But when we have time, we always call to.
Yeah, these days we always get you on different news slots where you try to give opinion, but we don't frequently see you on debates plan. At one point, we thought that maybe Mr. John Niba have also decided to take a short leave, because that is what we get this day, that people say that, no, I'm going off the media for some time. But we are happy that
it's true. There are people who say they go off. There are people who are being asked to go off the media. But for now, Mr. John Niba is still keeping all his prerogatives. Nobody is putting pressure on me. It is just the tight schedule that is keeping me away, but I will always try to be there.
We are going to come back to you with you. We are going to elaborate on so many issues here in this program today. We have the privilege to have the Secretary General of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party. He is His Royal Majesty Chief Ofon Barrister Ndong Christopher, who is here with us today. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bella Samari. Good afternoon, listeners of Royal FM. Good afternoon, militants of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement and its sympathizers. I am here today to debate on very sensitive issues, which is on the menu on Royal FM.
And that is why when we programmed you for the last Saturday of this month to be our guest, you said no. With regards to these 7 political parties that will be coming in, there's a lot of things that you really want to let the public out there understand, because there is a bit of a lot of issue. We want to thank you for honoring us to be here. We are going to be talking about those issues. But gentlemen, I can say the Anglophone community is bereaved. Cameroon in general is equally bereaved. We got the news earlier this morning that Christian Cardinal Toumi is no more. And this is somebody that has been since he's becoming a bishop in the days in his days in Garoua, right up to Douala, where he passed out. He has always fight for the Anglophone cause. Barrister Ndong Christopher.
Yes, the passing away, the news came to me like the mountain fell on me, and it's a great loss. It's a great loss to us Anglophones. It's a great loss to all the Christian community in Cameroon, Africa, and the world, the Vatican inclusive. It's a great loss to the struggle. Honestly, his age equally, it is time. You know, you always praise somebody when he has done what was assigned him by God on earth. I think he died. The news getting to us this morning, in fact, at a very holy period. You know, this is the period where Jesus Christ himself went through death. And so, Cardinal Toumi can be likened to somebody who God, Jesus, has laid his hands and said, please, you have walked, it is time, you come over to heaven. And it is one man, to my mind, that has gone straight to heaven. Even if we ever doubted that, do people go to heaven? He is one we can say has gone to heaven and is at the right hand of God the Father Almighty. He will go there, continue the struggle. He knows the plight of Cameroonians and will, in fact, send his soldiers, who are the angels.
So he's taking
the gates of heaven will be open.
He's taking the Anglophone course now to a different dimension.
Yes.
What you are trying to
the gate of heaven will be open to the Anglophone cause. He will better be the lawyer, the magistrate, and everything for the Anglophones.
It is the last part is of your statement, Barrister Don Christopher, is a bit very, very interesting. Maybe also funny where you say that he's going to take the Anglophone course. John Niba, you are of the Catholic faith, if I'm not mistaken, and they said the death of Christian Cardinal Tumi is something for the whole of the Catholic community, not only in Cameroon but out of Cameroon, that are really mourning. Now we have somebody who is on the line already. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon. Amen.
Yes, may we know your name, sir?
It's Tony Emmanuel.
Okay, sir.
I want to say good afternoon to the barrister.
Thank you, Mr. Tony.
Chinwe Emmanuel.
Chinwe.
Okay. Ebe.
Yes, sir.
I also want to bow before the remains of Cardinal Tumi.
Yeah.
Passing away. It's kind of shocking sometimes when you sit and meditate, especially on those short lines the barrister just mentioned a while ago. Start asking myself a lot of questions. To me, what is the kind of history we will need to write on Cardinal's page? Those are elite, Anglophone elite, who had the knife and the yam. They had all the infantry. They were the kind of Anglophone elite who could change the fate of the Anglophone people. My heart bleeds because they have come, they saw, they left without any concrete solution. And especially at this given point where we losing almost on daily basis children here and there in both Bamenda and Southwest region. The candidate was that kind of person who should not die without bringing a concrete change as regards the Anglophone problem, but he's gone. And the kind of government that we have is that kind of government who doesn't trust in us youth. Is that kind of government who doesn't want to see children of nowadays stand up, take on the baton of command, and make or bring change. Is that kind of government who humiliates, the kind of government who doesn't really want the youth to grow. Who among us will stand up tomorrow, today, after tomorrow, and bring any solution to the Anglophone crisis? Who is not Cardinal Tumi? It's not the Frundi, it's not the Atanganji, it's not the Achille Achu, it's not the Samuel Munzuz. Who again can stand up and bring any concrete solution and hit the table that we need solutions? Somebody like Cardinal Tumi could do that, because I'm saying it with a better connection, with a better connaissance to the fact that this world is ruled by the Catholic Church. The president is a Catholic Christian. Cardinal Tumi voice is cardinal, and I can even say the Pope around Africa, of Africa, he failed bringing a concrete solution to the Anglophone problem. Now he's gone. Should we retire from politics? $1 million question. I rest my case again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chinwe Emmanuel, for that contribution. Our numbers are 671-157321, 655-543457. Those are our access codes. Mr. John Niba, you had the microphone before. Emmanuel had to call in there to to pay his own tribute on Christian Cardinal Twumeh. The question I asked you was, you are of the Caliphate, and it's the death of Christian Cardinal Twumeh touched the Caliphate, but they also touched a community, the Nsok community, and like Emma was just saying there, he's somebody that fought for the Anglophones. Do you think that we can have such person to carry our cause to that level when you know he has written books on this situation time and again, and trying to bring the authorities into the sense that they should look for lasting solution to the Anglophone problem?
Okay, I will begin by saying that I was really taken unawares by his death, and I want to extend my condolences to the whole Catholic family and the Anglophone community in Cameroon in general, and equally to say that may his soul, like Mbeset, rest in peace, and not only in peace but should rest in activity, so as to table our cause to the Almighty, if we believe that the dead are not dead. Now I would like to say that the Cardinal had been a great man. He will ever remain in the annals of history for being so outspoken and courageous, defending the rights, the basic rights of the citizens of a country. And he has also received a lot of criticism. People tax him as a separatist and other words like that, but he merely wanted peace and harmony. He merely wanted to prevent what we are seeing today, that's bloodshed on a daily basis and economic losses. So to me, I want to think that the Cardinal was like the father of a great family, and then we should not think that the Cardinal has left behind nobody who can fight like him. We look at people like Bishop Andre Ankia, look at somebody like Samuel Kleda, Reverend Samuel Kleda. You see they continue in the footsteps of the Cardinal. And look at Abraham's, there is this
Abraham
Kome, Reverend Abraham Kome.
Bishop.
That is to tell you that, the Cardinal must have given part of what he was doing. He did not die with it. I still believe that there will be people who continue to call this government to order, who continue to point the finger where the wound is, so that something can be done. So while we pray that his soul should rest in peace, we equally pray that all the churches, not only the Catholic Church, all the church leaders should stand up and look at the bloodshed in the northwest and southwest and try to do something. Try to do something, because those people who go there to fight, those people who are dying are faithfuls going to their churches. Those who are killing go to church. Those who are being killed go to church. So we think that church leaders have a lot to do in order to bring that crisis to an end. You can look at what used to happen in Congo, where the church was very active, bringing the government to take decisions that look towards peace.
Okay,
that is what we expect.
We have somebody on the line. Maybe we'll come back to you. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Abel.
Yeah, may we know your name, sir?
Yeah, I'm Apostle Adam Charlemagne.
Okay, Pastor Adam, good afternoon.
Thank you, sir. My greetings to the lawyer.
Thank you,
Barrister Don Christopher.
Yes, Mr. Christopher.
Thank you and good afternoon.
So, I'm sad since this morning because Christians in Cameroon have lost a very great man of God. So, I'm really touched. You know that was somebody that would not fighting just for the Anglophone causes, but for the cause of all the Cameroonian people, so that they should be free from the dictatorship of these people ruling this country. So I get the news around 9 or 10 a.m. this morning, because I spent the night in the church. So I did not get up very early. And then yesterday in church, I was preaching about humanity crucifying the truth. Are you getting me, Mr.
I'm getting you, sir. I'm getting you, sir.
Yes. And I say that when somebody is telling the truth, the person is hated by everybody, because this world don't like somebody that is telling the truth. And the truth that was crucified was our Lord Jesus Christ. And then early this morning, another man that was standing for the truth has abandoned this fight so that to go and join the Heavenly Father. So you see, everybody now in Cameroon that is fighting that the Cameroon should be liberated from these dictators. We are just like orphans. But I know, as you people were just saying, you are having some of us men of God that are still standing for the truth. So, yes, Mr. Abel, yes, I would just say that, you know that the fun of Saul has made him to be what they call in Banso Shufai. So that he should really stand for the people and talk with those who are decided to take arms, so that there should be peace. And then when he was talking with those with arms, those in power cannot do anything when you come back with something.
Okay, sir. Can you just run up, because other people are also online?
Okay, sir. So I would just say that let his peace rest, let his soul rest in peace, and let Cameroonians continue fighting, because the fight would not end until Cameroon is liberated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Apostle Adam. Barrister Don Christopher, he left without accompanying the all Anglophone conference. And that was the gateway to solve the Anglophone problem.
God alone is the one that gives life to human. God alone is the one that gives the duration on earth, how long you will live on earth. Yeah. Christian Cardinal Tumi had chosen from day one the path of a pastoral mission. He has done it all his life. He has moralized Cameroon, Africa, and the world. He has done his job description that was prescribed by the Almighty Father in heaven. And as like any other person, you have a day you are born, you have the period you have to walk, the work designed and created for you by God, and there is a day to die. God has created nobody that will live forever. Cardinal Tumi has died just like the popes too die, just like other religious leaders die. And it tells us, it's a lesson in life. He, at this last stage of his pastoral mission, decided to put his moral rectitude to try to see how he can bring an end to the Anglophone crisis, to reason the government in place to quell down this issue. It's unfortunate the Lord God, if had allowed him to continue, he would have jumped without knowing at that age to certain mistakes that you cannot compromise. And so therefore, he has taken off from this sinful earth, which he himself has struggled to purify, and he's gone to the Father. Jesus left this sinful earth after doing all the good things he did. Yet, he left and met the Father. All of us, myself speaking, the head of state, his government, everybody in the world will leave this sinful world just like Christian Cardinal Ntumi and join the Father in heaven. His mission on earth is finished. He leaves behind many, many people he has trained, reverend fathers, bishops, cardinals. Before leaving, he has done and fulfilled his mission. He has worked and accomplished his life on earth. We, as human beings, will only have one thing to do: regret his departure. Everybody will call it a sudden departure. I will not say sudden. He was given this time by God Almighty to leave this world, and he has left. We only have to remain behind as one, Cameroonians, Africans, or human beings, to mourn his soul. And that is what we are mourning today. It might be a shock. The shock will be to the Christian community, who are expecting him tomorrow in church to give his homily on a Good Friday. But I say, Cardinal Ntumi has followed the path of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ died during this holy period and went him through this holy period. So he has followed his footsteps. It's a great sign. It's a great signal for us to understand that his mission on earth was well fulfilled. And he is gone. Adieu. May God Almighty receive him in his kingdom with his two arms. And from there, he will prepare a place for us, just as he used to tell us when he was on earth, when he has his breath, that Jesus Christ has gone to prepare a place for us. So he has followed with that mission. He has preached all over to go and see which portion of that path of heaven Jesus has prepared for him. And he too will be preparing for us, especially as I'm talking. He might prepare my own too. So I think that Father Ntumi has died a great man. He has died in the Lord. And of course, I want to say adieu, Father Ntumi. You did your best on earth, and so you have gone. We will leave behind to mourn you. Time will pass. We will not be thinking, but posterity will hold it that Cardinal Ntumi was that African, that black man from the Northwest region, that in fact in the religious family was a great man, and he has lived a great life on earth. I think that is what I can say about Cardinal Ntumi.
Thank you very much, Barrister Don Christopher. You had the microphone before Barrister came in, and you want to conclude on the issue of Christian Cardinal Ntumi, so that we welcome our next guest who is joining us in the studio.
Yeah, just to say that to all the Christians of Cameroon, and especially the church leaders and the archbishops and bishops in Cameroon, if they don't want the cardinal to regret, they should be able to push what he was fighting for to the end. If not, they are going to bear the burden, because some of us who were being comforted by the actions of the cardinal, we expect those he trained, those who came in his hands, to continue with his mission, to push the mission to the end, which is the respect of human rights, which is supposed to be transparent elections laws, which is democracy, which is above all the plight of the English-speaking Cameroonians or the Anglophones of the Northwest and Southwest. If not, the church would have failed, according to my opinion.
Joining us this afternoon is Fokwa Roger. He's the militant of the PCRN party. You say we should call it in English again?
Yeah, the CPNR.
The CPNR party. You know, we have been used to what's the French acronym. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Abel, and good afternoon to my co-panelists, and good afternoon to your beautiful auditors out there. And it's an honor being on your program. And permit me to say that I'm sorry for coming late, but I can't understand the traffic that was at Total Nguso today, because we stood there for about 1 hour 20 minutes just to discover that there is nothing at the level of Omispo. Then I looked at it, I was like confused. I think it's high time the authorities of Yaoundé should start thinking of resolving that problem, because it's becoming unbearable.
We have John Niba, we have Barrister Don Christopher of the MRC party. Now, you met us when we were talking about Christian Cardinal Twomey. I don't know, what memories do you have for this late man of God?
Abel, it is today it's a sad day for the Cameroonians in particular and the Africans in general, both religiously and politically. Religiously, we have lost a man of God, a great man of God, you understand. And the Christian world today, on behalf of the Cameroonian Party for National Reconciliation, I permit me to say the Christian community should accept our sympathy. And as a young politician, because I'm 3 years old in politics, and as a young politician, I grew up hearing about the activities of Christian Cardinal Twomey and reading some. I knew him as a man who was firm, a man who believed in what he says, a man who stand for the right cause. You see, I remember during when the Anglophone crisis came up, I remember with other political leaders, as a religious personality, I remember him calling on the government to go in for a dialogue. He even tried to organize the All Anglophone conference, which did not hold. It was postponed so many times, and it is a great regret that he died at this age without fulfilling that particular mission. But I remember during the major national dialogue, our national president, Honorable Cabral Dibi, was honored to be his vice president in the committee that was he was leading. And one of the last thing I kept about Christian Cardinal Twomey was that in one of his last outing on the national TV, I saw a man giving the last or the best of his to see that the Anglophone crisis could come to an end. At his age, it's true. Like Kemin Barrister was saying that at his age, it is an honor. It is an honor living right up to his age, and looking at the man of that age trying to put an end, trying to give his best advice, give his best ideas for the Anglophone crisis to come to an end. You see, for a younger generation like us, I think we just lost a library. We lost a library, we lost a bunch of intelligence, and we lost a father and a mentor to my mentor, because he was always advising Cabral, because they met in 2004. Most people think they met during the major national dialogue in 2019. They met for the first time in 2004, and since then they have been unseparated. Now, Abel, I cannot end up without saying something that really hurts my feelings this morning. I discovered when I wake up, and I saw it on Facebook, that the Cardinal is no more, just for me to stumble on a video that the corpse of the Cardinal lying on the bed was filmed, and that video is circulating the whole social media. Abel, where is our sense of morality? Where is our sense of respect? I think, or I'm calling on the government to open an investigation, and the person who did that should be held responsible, arrested and locked up, to set an example. Because I remember during the Deido incident, when the young guy of Deido, Lycée de Deido, was stabbed, when they were struggling to save him in the lab, some nurses were filming it and put it on social media. I think it's high time the government should use this opportunity to sanction those who are behind this. And I want to seize the opportunity to salute the Minister of Public Health, Dr. Madawuda Malachi, yes, who said this morning, he said this morning that an investigation has been opened. And I called on him this morning on my Facebook account, on my Facebook wall. I said to him that, Mr. Minister, this investigation should go to the end. The person who is behind this should be sanctioned severely, to set an example for others not to repeat it. We were supposed to be mourning our Cardinal. We're not supposed to be ridiculing his last day. That man fought a just battle. And like our President, Honorable Cabral Libby, said this morning, he has done its part, and it is time for us to do our own part. To his biological family, I say, may they accept our sincere condolence.
Yeah, I really, and the Minister of Public Health, like the Diado incident will come to that issue, and a lot of people doesn't know that such acts are punishable by
yes,
by
they
the
don't
law.
know. They don't
we
know.
saw what happened to somebody who filmed with late Maradona, and is still in prison. So those are some of the things that Cameroonians need to be matured in order not to be educated.
Yes,
because the coming of the telephone, social media, where you see today, somebody might have an accident on the road. Somebody will not be interested to give you the first aid. The first is that you should film and
please,
the first to break the
please
news.
permit me just 1 second. I was traveling down to Kumba. Then a lady had an attack in the bus.
Yeah.
She was seated beside me. Because something happened, like there was fire in the bus. Some girls started shouting behind, fire, fire. Then the driver stopped the bus. This lady, out of too much pressure, she had an attack. You'll be surprised that while I was struggling, because she was lying down, while I was struggling because a woman was there to, she was telling me what to do, nobody was bothering to help her. Everybody was filming. Then I was undressing her because the woman asked me to remove her button, remove her bra in order for her to breathe. And that was how we rescued her. But 80% of the people standing there, they were filming. It was so pathetic. And that is why I'm insisting, because when I saw that this morning, I just thought of that incident. I'm insisting that the person should be arrested.
Something needs to be done.
Yes, they need to use this one as an example to send a message to all the Cameroonians who does that.
Thank you very much. Let's now welcome Susan Nayonge, who is here with our press review for this week. Good afternoon to you, Susan.
Greetings to you, Abel, to the panelists, and to all Royal FM listeners and Facebook page followers. Welcome to the first edition of the press review for the month of April. Here is what made news during the week. The Pressmen on Monday had some interesting stories. The Median had as main headline, Control of Government Action, MPs take PM Dion, Minrex to task. Another story featured, Playing Sweet Mother, Nalova Lyonga pardons students dismissed for depravity. Bamenda Babaju Road, Nganu Jumesi at loss of solutions is another story on the paper. In politics, the Guardian Post had as main headline, Nincha's machinations that may take SDF off political scene. The Chronicle Times newspaper meanwhile had this story, Race for SDF chairmanship, I don't have a successor, says Frundi. Then, as main headline, Mayor debunks separatist manipulation, claim of massacre in Bonge. And in sports, the pressmen were unanimous. Emergence Bilingual Daily had a story headlined, Francis Ngannou, the ride of a national hero. Mutation put it as, Ngannou the King. The Chronicle Times titled it as, Francis Ngannou, from sand digger to world heavyweight champion. On Tuesday, Cameroon Tribune had a story in economy, fight against unemployment, some 330,000 jobs created in 2020. Meanwhile in health, the Herald Tribune had as main headline, For ignoring COVID-19 preventive measures, Atanganji threatens pastors with arrest, shutdown of churches. The Guardian Post on its part had a story, WHO warns rising COVID-19 cases may disrupt Cameroon's healthcare system. The Voice newspaper had a story titled, Boya Nigerian consulate staff celebrates Consul General. And another story featured, Boko Haram wreaks havoc in attack in Far North. Something which the Guardian Post headlined, Boko Haram attack leaves at least 10 dead in Far North. Emergence Bilingual Daily had a story on its part, Boya, dozens of houses completely destroyed by fire. Back on the Guardian Post, its main headline was, as suspected Amba fighters set school on fire, over zealous Anglophone DO orders arrest of civilians in Kambe. Then in sports, Cameroon Tribune titled, 2021 AFCON qualifiers, Cameroon-Rwanda showdown today. The pressmen on Wednesday were rather focused on political issues. L'Action newspaper had as main headline, Validation of political structures, CPDM pursues field operations. Still on this paper, a story titled, National Assembly, MPs adopt bills after scrutiny. Municipal Updates newspaper had as main headline, At swearing-in ceremony, CAR President hails Bias Savvy. The Guardian Post on its part had a story, Race for SDF chairmanship, Frundi makes intriguing declaration on Ninche Osi. The Advocate newspaper had this story in education, Secondary Education Minister shifts resumption of classes. Still on this paper, a story featured, Improvised explosive device kills child in Kumba. Emergence Bilingual Daily on Wednesday had this story, Anglophone crisis, UNOCHA expresses need assistance of IDPs in the Northwest region. The Guardian Post had a story, Konak summons land owner in Buea to justify ownership. On Thursday, the Horizon newspaper had this story, land grabbing in Buea, Konak urged to dispatch team for investigation. Its main headline was, Alleged Mbonge massacre, army spokesman calls it a hoax. The Sun newspaper, meanwhile, had this story, in health, fight against COVID-19, Governor Okalia engaged over laxity of collaborators. 5 months without salary, Limbe City Mayor salutes resilience of staff despite hard times. The Guardian Post had a series of stories. In health, a story titled, Cameroon records over 22,500 tuberculosis cases, 1,351 deaths in 2020. Another story featured, Transparency in management of IMF COVID-19 loan. On its left footer, a story titled, Slow use of funds, Cameroon risks losing 655 billion francs CFA from World Bank. The L'étudiant newspaper meanwhile had this story, Women and Voodoo Charms, just trap of easy life. It furthered that the conditional cash, temptation pacts, prostitution are some of the tortuous paths they are exposed to. Friday was a public holiday marked with the death of Christ following the Christian calendar. There were no papers available. This brings us to the end of our weekly press review. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned and take the rendezvous for same time next week.
Thank you very much, our own Susanna Younger. The program is Topics and Realities coming from Royal 88.4 FM. Roger, you were the last to speak. You had the microphone. I don't know, you listened to the press review. I don't know what caught your attention.
The incident of the bomb blast in Kumba that killed the young child, and the school that was burned down by the Amber Boys because of the fact that they were angry with the decisions of the deal. The thing I want to say is, for how long are we going to continue like this? For how long? And if they are fighting for a cause that they believe in, I think the best way to do is not to destroy the institution where those who are going to take after them tomorrow are supposed to be educated. You cannot, let me quote Barrister Agbonkongo, who says that you cannot drink a poison and expect your neighbor to die. It means if you keep on destroying your own institution, you keep on destroying the future of your generation, of your next generation, you're not doing any good to yourself. You're instead destroying yourself, because your neighbor, like they say, they call themselves the Amber Boys, and they call this other, the other part of the country, La République. I tell them, using their own words, that La République will still continue. Children are going to school here, and so many Anglophones have left the Southwest and they are schooling here. You can keep on fighting, but stop destroying the institution. Stop burning down schools, because when you burn down schools, the children, they will not go to school again. And stop killing young ones using bombs, because they are the future of our country. And you see, like I always tell Cameroonians, the problem of the Anglophone crisis is something that we all have to assume our responsibilities. It's not a one-man show. The resolution for this crisis is a political willingness, but we have a government that from the president to the entire ministers, they live in Cameroon like they are all foreigners. Reason why, if you go into the government, you discover that 80% of our top officials in the administrations, they have double nationality, which is not a bad thing. But their reason for having a double nationality is not the reason that we all know. They had that reason because we have seen so many of them, when they were attacked, they had to declare their other nationality, and the foreign country in which they had their nationality had to come to their rescue. So we have this government that live in Cameroon like they are foreigners, and I think we the Cameroonians in general, we should assume our responsibilities. They should stop deceiving us like we don't have powers. We have the powers. We are the real holders of the powers, and we should be we should start thinking of how to use this power. Permit me to use this opportunity to call on Cameroonians that the energy we are putting in unnecessary things, we can divert this energy to put it in doing concrete things in Cameroon. Let's talk about our future. How do we want to see the next Cameroon? What is our role? Which role are we going to play for the next Cameroon to come into existence? Especially the youths. The youths of Cameroon made up 65% of our population. When you go to the voting age, they tell you about 14 million Cameroonians of voting age. Now, that 14 million, you have 75% that are youths. What are we doing? 7 million are registered. The last presidential election, just 3 million Cameroonians voted. Municipal legislative election, people are becoming more and more indifferent. President Biya, we should not mistake President Biya from Cameroon. President Biya is the president of Cameroon, and tomorrow he's going to be out. Another person is going to take over. But what kind of person do we want to lead our country? Who is going to reconcile the nation? Who is going to put an end to the crisis in the north? Who is going to put an end to the crisis in the northwest and southwest? We should wake up. We should stop being indifferent. Stop spending 100 minutes on social media, browsing on Facebook. You drink 5 bottles of beer, but when they tell you just go and register to the electoral list, you tell them, that doesn't concern me. By the end of the day, you and I will sit in our neighborhood together. You tell me, Masa, this country is stronger, this country bad, whereas you are the real holder of the power, but you are not making use of their power. Please, if you're listening to my voice out there as a Cameroonian youth, take your responsibilities. We all know what to do, and we should do what is right.
With no ID cards, how do we register?
Let me just clarify that, please, Abel, my brother.
Yeah, people were waiting for 3 years.
Yes, thank you for that. I remember there is a movement on social media launched by Madame Anne Fegon. Hashtag I want my ID card. I have been singing.
We are just reacting.
I have been singing that on social media. But do you know the funny thing?
No.
People don't react on it. People just stay quiet. And do you know that there is a possibility that if you have a problem of ID card and you join the hashtag movement, they can follow your ID card? You understand? It is not a political...
Okay, that one is different from their WhatsApp numbers that they gave, and we have been writing and nobody's reacting.
That is why I'm telling you that we should not count on this government again. We should count on ourselves, my brother.
Okay.
We should count on ourselves.
We got your opinion there. Babis and Don Christopher, you listen to the press review. I don't know what caught your attention.
Some few points caught my attention. I'll start with the fact that CONAC has been given powers to investigate land grabbing in the southwest region. Land grabbing is not the problem with the people of the southwest region. If some administrative authorities have committed their crimes, they should open up an investigation with the legal department to get them arrested on the things they know they have committed as a crime. The Boya population needs water. If you want to know what is the cry of the Boya people, it's water. Electricity is not any gainsaying. There is electricity, but in fact, it is horrible that the electricity cut there is terrible. Water, there is the absence of water completely. The mountain has water underneath. A catchment exists. Why not? When these politicians of the southwest, when they want to take over, it's in 2 days' time, immediately you vote us, we'll give you that water. Until today, we have a precarious problem of water in Boya. That is what the government should be addressing itself with. And then going to send CONAC to investigate land and houses. What local standard these people have to do that? Are they the land consultative board? There are a lot of legal issues. We leave concrete things because we want to settle scores. We begin to pass the wrong way to arrive a criminal act. If there is a crime committed in houses, in Boya, on land, and all of that, there is the appropriate channel. The land consultative will be able to deduce and tell you this man is on the wrong place, in the wrong land, and all of that. And that one is under the patronage and chairmanship of the DO. The DO is the one having that capacity, not even the law courts. When you see land issues go to court, is when there is a criminal act attached to the land, then you see it before the court. But if it comes to land that they are claiming, I claim the land, I have no title, or I have title, it's the Land Consultative Board who is able to determine who is in fact the person he gave authority to own land. That is one of the things that caught my attention. The government should know that the Buea population is crying for one of the basic necessities: water. He who gives water gives lives. And when you take off water, you've taken off lives. So we know the various methods which government is doing to take off lives of people in the Southwest region, and etc. Now, the second point that caught my attention is the Dio of Cambe. I personally called that Dio, whom I know very well. I said, there's some message going around. He said this thing happened in February. I'm not his lawyer. It happened in February. He was intimidating the people. Have you released them? He said, yes, he has released them. I said, but it has gone viral as if it was yesterday this thing started. He said, you know Cameroon. I said, he was just intimidating them because to try to preempt further, because he said, from what he said, you see, Barrister, people are talking only on what I'm doing. They are not seeing the arson that was caused to a school.
That's right.
There was an arson that was caused. So he was trying to identify the people. He told the people, just keep them for intimidation and release them thereafter. And he said he had released them, except somebody will give me the contrary. But it is gone viral. Now, the last point.
But from the way he was sounding in that video, it seems as if he actually mastered those who committed the crime. A lot of people were saying that since he's the Dio and master, why not go and apprehend the real culprits of those incidents rather than
the only thing I cannot buy from the action of the Dio was you cannot transfer aggression. Meaning you call a mother, you start saying your son. No, that one, it was wrong. You cannot impute a crime on a mama because his son is Amber.
Yes.
Mama put to bed a child does not put to bed the heart. So that one is a thing that has gone viral that caught my attention.
Okay.
Then the last point on the press review that caught my attention was what can I remember? Anyhow, give the microphone to someone.
We'll surely come back to you, Barrister Don Christopher. John Niba.
Yes, Abel Bella Samari. What caught my attention was that the journalists seem to be in complicity with the police for the shameful acts that the police have been committing. Nobody is reporting on that. I mean, those writing the newspapers. I want to point out this policeman we saw on social media asking for Lewinsky the chef. And then I also want to talk about these other two police people who fought in Buea over money collected.
And Konak did not see that. They are coming for land.
And they actually, the two police people actually left their guns beside. Anybody could pick the gun. And they were turning in front of the population. And the population was shouting. And the newspapers don't see that.
No, we
okay, thank you.
I will come in there. I will come in there to especially the case in Buea.
No, talk about that case in Buea is a little bit old.
Yes, we do
talk
report
about the
on
recent
that.
Whiskey du Chef.
We do report on that.
Yes.
We do report, like for example, the Guardian Post newspaper. If you look at other edition, it's found inside. Forget about maybe.
What about this Whiskey du Chef?
The Guardian Post do report about it. I'm talking about papers that I've read.
Okay, thank you.
The Post newspaper equally do report on the incident because it took place in Buea. On the issue of the Whiskey du Chef, that I cannot. Maybe they are still working on the story to do a lot of investigation because journalists do a lot of investigation. We are not social journalists.
Because
the journalists, when we pick an information from the journalists, from the social media, we just write. They are professionals, the journalists, so they need to investigate the story before they do the reporting. So I expect that the days ahead in the newspapers.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe I will send you a copy.
If you give me your words.
Maybe I will send you a copy.
Good. It is not. It is better late than never, because it was a shameful act, and I want to think that Martin Bargangele saw that behavior of that policeman who disgraced the whole nation. Now, leaving what the newspapers did not talk about, let me talk about what the newspapers spoke about.
Okay.
Now, I begin with the question session in the National Assembly. I want to laud the initiative of some parliamentarians who kept aside hypocrisy and actually ask pertinent questions, like questions that had to do with the oppression and the intimidation of journalists.
Yeah.
They pointed a finger to the case of Samuel Wazizi. Up to today, the Minister of Defense has not been able, neither the Minister of Communication, to tell us what has been the outcome of the investigations that were opened surrounding the death of Samuel Wazizi in custody. And a parliamentarian was courageous enough to ask that question. Those are the type of people who represent us. Now, they also pointed out a case of Njoka Kingsley, who was also picked up somewhere in Douala, a journalist who is languishing behind bars. And I think the Minister of Defense said the investigation of Wazizi, this thing is still going on. They are still investigating to know what happened. And then Njoka Kingsley, who has already been declared maybe already guilty without being judged. I think investigations are also going to be done so that these people, justice should take its course. I am not defending them. I want to say that if they committed crimes, let the legal procedure be free of all this hide and seek game. You will remember Wazizi died. If not of equinox, we wouldn't have known that he died. That was terrible. Now I want to talk about Madame Naloba Lyonga of secondary education, the Minister of Secondary Education, concerning what happened in Kribi, in Lycée de, is it Kribi?
Yeah.
Those children who manifested some obscene behavior.
Lycée de Kribi.
Good, and filmed it and sent on social media. The principal of the school summoned a disciplinary council. Those children were cross-examined and decisions were taken. And to the best of my knowledge, we know that when a class council holds, same as if there's a scholar, the caller. Or
yes, there's a caller online.
Okay, let me just hold on.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, may we know your name? And you give us your contribution. Hello, sir?
My name is Prince Apostle.
Okay, President.
Yes.
Good afternoon, President Prince Ekoso is the president of the USDP party, I hope.
Sure.
Okay, sir, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, may we have your contribution, sir? I know you are part of the 7 political parties that signed the recent Come Together.
Yes, of course. I am grateful to be part of that, I can say, commission.
Okay, sir.
You know, which has begun to understand that Cameroonians have a need. And from every indication, on the 31st of March 2021, I saw in the hearts of all those who were in that gathering the passion and compassion for Cameroonians. So one of the things that Cameroonians should know is that that meeting is not another political game as some are trying to put it.
Okay.
You understand that from time to time the regime in power tries to dismantle and discredit the efforts of opposition political leaders. But one thing is very sure. This movement or this gathering has given birth to another spirit. And that spirit will not be killed by anyone.
Okay, sir. I know you have a lot to tell us concerning this issue. Can we program an edition where we invite you over for us to discuss a lot of issues, President?
There will be no problem, sir.
Okay, sir. We are talking about a lot of issues here. I don't know this week what caught your attention as concerning the press this week, as we mourn also the death of Christian Cardinal Tumi.
Yeah, I've already tweeted and I've sent my condolences to the Berry family and the Cameroonians about the passing on to glory of
Christian Kakatumi. I call him the People's Cardinal.
Okay.
And so he's a man of valor, someone who was always ready for peace, for justice, and for truth. And I begin to question my own self if I'll be able to carry the kind of responsibility that the Cardinal carried in terms of truth in society.
Okay.
So that is also one of the aspects this morning that not only shocked me, but made me to feel a little bit sad that we lost someone. I remember that in 2010, thereabout, I had a 5-hour meeting with Kakatumi in his office in Douala. And he spoke to me certain things and prayed for me and blessed me in a very unusual way. So his passing away is a particular loss for me as an individual, because the memories of that 5 hours in his office is something that will never go out of my spirit. And also what caught my attention is the clemency that was granted to Professor Jose Mendoze, the former GM of CRTV, who was incarcerated in the Condemnation prison and became very frail, and his frailty was diffused also through social media and in some newspapers. And I wrote and expressed my desire for the President of the Republic to grant him clemency. And I'm happy that the clemency has been granted. But it is a little bit questionable because we don't see any official document from the presidency stipulating that Jose Mendoze has been granted clemency here and there, and probably if it is true, then it's good.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program today.
Thank God.
We look forward to have you here in studio live, sir.
I'm waiting.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. That was.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
God bless the Cameroonians.
Thank you, sir. That is Prince Ekoso Issa, the president of a political party here in Cameroon. Johnny, but you had the microphone.
Yeah, I just want to say something concerning the liberation or the clemency of the supposed clemency. I think if I must,
you were somewhere with
Naloba, but I want to say that if there is no official document granting clemency, is because the Constitution of Cameroon does not give powers to the president to grant clemency to people who have embezzled state funds. So it's just another hide and seek thing. They should better say that they have sent him to go and train himself and come back to prison.
We have a legal expert in the Constitution, because we know the Constitution also gives the president the prerogative to liberate some prisoners.
Not to liberate people who embezzled.
You were talking. Maybe you ran up on the issue.
Let me run up with Madame Nalova and the Lycée de Kribi.
Yes.
So those children that all of us saw with a lot of shame were finally.
Okay, if I can ask you this question.
14 of them were dismissed.
Can I ask you this question? What do you expect the minister to do with the children, to continue to keep them at home, to become vandals in the society?
Listen, sir. I am the one talking. When I finish, maybe you are answering.
And I'm the one asking question.
Now the DISCOM met.
And they sanction the students.
Listen, when a DISCOM meets, the sanction is not given immediately. The delegate is informed.
Yeah.
The delegate informed Madame the Minister.
Yeah.
Madame the Minister gives okay. They dismiss the children. After 2 weeks, Madame asks that those children should come back on campus. That is where my problem is.
Okay.
Please,
now maybe let me add. Maybe you did not follow.
Can you allow me to?
Yes,
it was my story, it's not yours.
Let me add something to their story, so that those who are listening to you to have a complete version of the story.
Yes.
It did not ask. Those children have been kept like in a place like
I am coming to that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Now you are a
I know that there are some sort of pornographic classrooms that are set aside for those children, meaning that each time one person passes out of that class and is passing the whole school, shouting, "Oh, she's from a pornographic class." That is what that woman is doing. She must have think that maybe she thought that she was doing something very good. If those children were never dismissed in the first place, let them give them punishment like they used to give us, some of us, 3 days suspension. Wait, Abel, we'd walk. Let them walk.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Joliba?
Can you allow me to finish so that the program continues?
Okay, go ahead.
So this mother who proved after that she was a mother, and before that decision was taken, she wasn't a mother. She suddenly realized that she was a mother. I want to ask her, where are those children who were arrested in AK in the same scandal, and they have been sent somewhere? They have been kept. They said they selected some of them, and the minors were released. Some of them have been they have been sent to court. Only I don't know that term. And what has this mother also said? Is she a mother only to those children of Kribi? And she's not a mother to those children of Yaoundé.
Okay, can I ask you a question, Mr.
Those children of Yaoundé, are they not also out of school? I'm saying this, to me, I would have thought that the mother, first of all, she wouldn't have accepted that those children should be dismissed in the first place. Secondly, she is not supposed to have separated them. Let me ask you, if there was a child from 1, a child from 3, a child from 5, a child opposite, mixed in that group, how many classes will be separated for 14 children? And how many teachers will come to go and teach one child? And you sit here and tell me that it is some sort of re-education, what? How many teachers will be going? Okay, you have 2 from 1 children.
Can I ask you a question?
Professors will be passing. You have 3 from 3 children. Professors will be passing.
Mr. Johnny,
I want to think that the mother...
We'll program a Saturday to talk about...
Not to talk. I cannot come here on the Saturday to talk about Madame
We'll talk about the educational system.
And her reforms.
No, we'll talk about the educational system. Because you are a pedagogue, I don't know what you expect the children to...
I expect the children to... Because
to stay at home?
The school is there. The school is there.
To be dismissed and abandoned?
Where, Abel? The school is there not only for mathematics and the English language and other things. It is moral, and I think the minister is right by keeping them in school, but she has made so many mistakes. Keeping them aside, they will always be recognized as those pornographic children who are in that pornographic classroom.
Maybe it will also help to change their mentality. Mr. John, you are a pedagogue. I want you to calm down your situation. Your minister is thinking very well.
That's not my
joining
minister.
us also.
Minister is the basic education. Huh?
Okay. The Minister of Secondary Education is thinking very well, and maybe he wants to look for a solution, because keeping those children at home also.
That is the minister who instituted whatever. The minister
we don't want to go back to her past.
Orange money.
We don't want to go back to her
pay
past.
School fee. But when she collects the money, she does not send the running cost to the principals on time.
We'll talk about that when we organize a program to talk about the educational system in Cameroon, because we have discovered that the educational system in Cameroon is having a serious problem. And Nelson Mandela once says that if you want to destroy a nation, destroy the educational system. Maybe what we talk will help to educate public opinion on some of these issues.
I want to ask Honorable Joshua Oshi, because his name came out between Nietzsche, that he was that can he tell us a bit what is the fate of those people who were repatriated?
Who were to be?
No, those who were already repatriated, because these ones who were to be repatriated was another man.
Okay.
Now that he was signing that the other people should be repatriated, can he tell Cameroonians what is their fate? Those who came back, where are they? And how are they being treated? Before signing that more should come back. That is just one question for him.
Okay, thank you very much. John Diba, I hope you are satisfied now. Can we go ahead?
Okay, thank you. Abel, that's a misinformation.
We are going to correct it. We are going to correct it. Joining us is Teacher Wulan. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Abel.
It's a pleasure for me to welcome you. You work with Transparency International.
I'm a board member of Transparency International.
We are Structure Future this week in the newsstand, and it is something that is why we call you over, maybe to give us an enlightenment of it. Holding the government together with Human Rights Watch, holding the government to neck on the management of money given to Cameroon by the International Monetary Fund to help fight the coronavirus pandemic and revamp the economy.
Well, you see, when you see Transparency International coming up to question transparency and accountability over the management of that fund, it's simply, I don't know when they used to say, the drop of water that overflows the glass.
Yeah.
It's not only on the management of COVID-19 funds that Cameroonians deserve, say, transparency, or see, to be told on how these funds are managed. Yeah. And remember, that money was not some sort of a gift. Okay. It was a loan that was given to the Cameroon government, wow, and which is supposed to be paid back in time. So, you know, Honorable Ninchu, somebody I respected very much, is the person who actually came up with that information. Mm-hmm. He's a whistleblower when it comes to poor governance in Cameroon, and we saw how on social media, how a duo somewhere in the east was offering these bricklayer buckets to people, to chiefs.
It's a bucket or a bricklayer bucket?
I mean the bricklayer's bucket.
That's the name of the bucket?
It's a bucket.
We are in Cameroon, you know.
Les Soma-Song.
Soma-Song, the bricklayer's bucket.
It's not the name. It's
to
not
fight.
the name.
Yeah, maybe Roger.
Is it a drinking bucket or a bathing bucket?
Well.
A 10-liter bucket.
Yes,
okay.
well.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Well, when you look at those fabulous sums of money that were disbursed for COVID-19, that's to fight COVID-19, not just to fight COVID-19, but to help revamp businesses that were affected. Then the way the thing was done, I think it makes me, in short, I feel as to cry. My junior brother Roger there was saying no, they were buckets, but how effective are buckets in the fight against COVID-19?
Now, in the investigation, did you people find traces of the fact that, let me focus on the
issue is that there was not even supposed to be any investigation. You know, the government is supposed to be accountable to the people. There is a lot of opacity in the management of those funds.
Do we have problem of COVID-19 mismanagement of funds?
We have a huge problem, but the issue is that, did we actually need that money? Was that money actually needed? The alarm blown around COVID-19 in COVID-19 presence in Cameroon, is it actually true? That's the very first question we should be asking ourselves. Go down the streets there. How many people are wearing face masks? Look at us here in the studios. I mean, the fact that Cameroonians, see how COVID-19 is wiping off people out there in the West, in the Western world. Doesn't mean our our technicians, our medical practitioners are more competent than those out there. So to me, it was a scam from the onset, and the money was never meant to fight COVID-19, because the purchase, Honorable Ninche actually came up with a document which revealed that the equipments that were bought, whether it be the test or whatsoever, were overbuilt. Okay, they were overbuilt, and then some. In certain cases, I said the buckets were given to people, and as I said, I was about to throw some light on that. When you give a bucket to someone you stand the bucket at a junction for people to wash hands. Our problem is not that of washing hands.
Okay.
Where will water first of all come from? You can be seeing the quality of water being served Cameroonians in the city capital here, and even if there was water, that person who comes and opens the tap, he comes with his corona, he deposits it on the tap, he washes his hands. After that, he locks the tap. Does he wash the tap?
Okay.
He does not. Another person comes, maybe without corona. Okay. He touches that. In short, that's it. So I'm simply saying that the problem of transparency in Cameroon, the problem of governance in Cameroon has been there for years. We've been living with it. I heard you guys talking about these politicians who met the other day. Yeah. We have this institution.
We are going to be coming
when
back
it comes to laws, we have them. But now, who mans them? Who mans them? John Eba just spoke of Joshua Osi. That's somebody who, just his presence alone, downgrades the credibility of such an institution or such a body that they want to.
Are you sure? We are going to find out. Now, do we have problems of Rogers? Do we have problems of mismanagement of COVID-19 funds? Because I think that is another role of political parties to find out some of these governance issues he's talking about. Do we have that problem of mismanagement?
Abel, before I answer your question, I just wanted to correct something. I was referring to bucket, not that I was refusing the fact that they did not give bucket. Okay, I was saying that it is not bricklayer bucket, it is bucket, simple bucket.
Let us put bucket.
Yes,
they wanted to specify the bucket so that those who are listening to us know that the quality of or the type of bucket given to is the one that bricklayers use it, so that somebody should not say bucket. Maybe you think it's a 20 liter, maybe it's a 40 liter. But I understand its precision.
I was not saying that to contradict you.
Yes, can you answer my question? Do we have problems of COVID-19 mismanagement in Cameroon?
Mr. Quinty was talking about Honorable Ninche. I will talk about Honorable Cabral Libi because his own was recent. The money Cameroon received was 180 billion. That Cameroon received for the fight against COVID. That money was going to be used to fight against COVID and support companies, support enterprises that are going to be closed down, you understand, or support the people in case there is a long period of closed down or lockdown, you understand. Now the president equally launched a fundraising. We also have Cameroonians were giving hundreds of millions to contribute for the fight against COVID. That money was, the last time I heard, I think it was close to 3 billion. I might be mistaken, but it was already more than 1 billion, you understand. Now when they collect money and they receive money, we are aware, but no account is being given. No account has been given on how that money has been spent.
But the minister of public health came out last year around the month of June to say that 22 billion francs have been used. That's an account.
22 billion francs. I agree with him.
About $14 million.
Yes, 22 billion francs in 180. Now I don't want to talk about the fundraising the president launched. See, this is, for me, I don't have a problem with them. I use the word I don't have a problem with them keeping the money, but I think that money they can keep the money and invest it. Now we are talking about vaccinating Cameroonians. Why can't they invest in a Cameroonian vaccine? Why can't they support the Cameroonian the African medical system? We have Monseigneur Cleda who came out with something. We have Dr. Malis. I was following Dr. Malis the other day in your radio. She was talking about her drugs for COVID and Gurbitara. Why can't they finance these people? Why can't they produce a Cameroonian vaccine? Okay, they told us that the Ministry of Scientific Research was going to come out with chloroquine. Where are those chloroquines? Now, what is the essence of keeping this money because Dr. Malis...
Are you sure they are keeping the money?
No, I don't see, Mr. Quinty, I am a member of a political party and I belong to an institution.
And he is a member of a Transparency International. He's telling that there are cases of embezzlement of the money.
I'm not refusing. I'm saying that before you make certain declarations, you have to have proofs. You understand? Yeah. My problem is this: the minister said they have spent. I agree with you. Okay, let's agree. 22.
But we have the proofs, sir.
I have not seen your proofs. I'm not saying that they have not embezzled the money, but I'm saying that
didn't you read reports on the management?
Mr. Quinty, instead of the government embezzling the money like he's saying, they should invest in producing a Cameroonian vaccine, because there is a serious.
Instead of embezzling that money,
they should invest in producing Cameroonian vaccine. They should invest in producing chloroquine like the Ministry of Scientific Research was supposed to do. They should support Bishop Cleda. They should support Dr. Mali. They should support all the other Cameroonians who are struggling in the fight of COVID.
We'll get your point. Let me find out. I have two questions. Maybe let me start with John Niba. Let me. Did you at one point in time receive any aid or support from the government in the fight against coronavirus? Maybe hand sanitizer, stabilizer, buckets, and all the like, because the fund was destined to help people to regain back their economic life.
I will answer your question, but I would tell Transparency International that when you saw the bucket, the builder's bucket, that was far off somewhere around the borders of Cameroon, Rikiosi.
Yes,
they did not calculate the quantity of petrol that was put in that car.
And the numbers of delegations,
big jeeps, the people that went with that single bucket and
the people they displaced.
Now let me come back.
So the reason for giving that bucket was because they needed to destroy the car?
No, the budget
but that amount was not based.
The budget that was allocated for that locality was used in fueling the car. Just the balance was used to buy a few times of buckets.
But the loan was not to fuel car.
How would the car reach there to deliver the bucket without petrol?
Okay.
Admissions allowances were paid.
Okay.
Now let me answer my question.
Yes.
I and my family, we haven't received anything from COVID funding. Neither hand sanitizer, nose mask. This is my mask and what I've been buying for my children and myself.
Okay.
And now I am the head teacher of a school. My school has not received anything.
Okay.
I mean, here on the 4 subdivision, we have not received anything as a school from COVID, anything. Okay. So I don't know.
Thank you.
Those who have been receiving things.
Barrister Don Christopher, you are always in the court. Let me put the aspect of the traditional ruler aside. Have you people got news of any issue like mismanagement of loan or of COVID-19 fund already? Maybe you give us an exclusive.
Well, as far as I know, up till now, I've not seen any case in court on that.
Okay.
1. 2, I hate talking issues, people who have constituted themselves, which I term partners in crime. They conglomerate, commit their crime, manage it within them, blow noise, press, journalists, all of this, they take and pay them, accomplices to the crime. In fact,
who are those people you are referring to?
I've called the names. I say a government that constitutes itself as a conglomerate for, that is calling themselves partners in crime. Because when you commit crime jointly, you are partners.
In anti-corruption
and
jargon,
then you are
a partner.
You become another agent who diffuse information different from the crimes you have committed to dissuade public opinion. For what I know was mismanaged, which I can talk about. Leave that thing, whether it was billion, this billion, the donors should come and investigate and tell the public. That is what is important. But what I know is that Oka, that is one clear example. Oka get rice. There was bags of rice and bags of rice. Till today, you journalists very quiet. When they want to accuse you, say, "Oh yeah, you were talking." No, you are not talking anything.
No, the press has been
you
talking
don't talk.
About
No. Why are you coming back? The same period for rice is the same period for that money. Why are you talking only the money? I'm reminding you that there was tons upon tons of rice. Honestly, this country is magical. It disappeared in prefects, governors. I don't know where those rice went to, but they were the receivers. Have you asked a question? That is another mismanagement of COVID. Now, let me land the last point. When this COVID thing came, and government knew that there was heavy sums of money that was supposed to come in as a result to dilute this COVID thing and help assist Cameroonians. When Cameroon Renaissance Movement President Professor Maurice Kamto created the Survival Initiative and decided to bring those things in quantities as contributions from Cameroonians abroad, they were the first. They distributed free of charge, including masks. Nobody paid. Nobody paid. Government refused and break and arrested people because that project was disturbing that money to come. But the day those people collected that money, they created small enterprises of machinists, tailors and seamstresses to be producing, and when they produce, they still sell. My brother, do you know, have you seen or have you heard, or I don't know, somebody brought something and gave and said, this is free from government. I don't know where they used to distribute it. It might be in the ministries. But as far as the public is concerned, nobody has seen a free mask. That thing is like mosquito net. It's like mosquito net. We find them on the street.
But we used to receive mosquito nets
for free. For free. But today it's a
let me say something.
And then, no, you will talk now.
I just want to add some flesh to what Barrister said.
Yes.
I want to say that in anti-corruption jargon, what he just explained is called state capture. That's when the state is being held captive by a certain elite, where even legislators legislate in advantage of a crime. See the Special Criminal Tribunal, for example, which tells us that if somebody embezzles money up to a certain amount, that's 50 million.
50 million.
He can be judged. He's liable to be judged within that court. And this court gives, this law gives the Minister of Justice, who emanates from the executive arm of government, the powers to stop a case and then to let the accused free if he gives back the money embezzled, if he pays back. Can you imagine, say somebody embezzles 5 billion francs and you keep in a bank just for 1 year? Do you know how much profit that will yield? And that is, you will bring that money back only if you are caught. What is even the judicial system? What are the investigations? The investigation.
You are right. You took from me. Let me just go.
Yes.
I said I know no case.
Okay.
But I know all the rumors.
Okay.
About, there was a time where Jesmondi, you call that journalist what?
Sismondi by Bichoka.
He was threatened because he had to reveal 2 ministers for this mafiaism. So you see, the cases are clear. The Minister of Justice, how can he arrest his colleague? When they say his colleague has embezzled, he does not prompt any investigation. I've not seen any case in TCS. You come, we are singing, people are singing, they will say, sing, the wind will blow your words and it will go. So I want to tell you, it's a gang of armed robbers who criminals and partners in crime. Okay. So they cover their crime. You see, when they are annoyed at one point, they expose it through one journalist. When he talks, they will come overnight, they cover the crime. Okay. Cameroonians are always dockside on that. Okay, so please, we are moving the COVID issue, let the people who gave, the donors, who gave that money should come and prop the investigation. Because Cameroonians will never do that investigation. Okay. It will die down like any other thing. Money disappeared on a plane between where to where. They say the money is still to come.
And that is why we see
Gabu, nothing. Gabu, nothing. Kumba, nothing.
I think, gentlemen, we are going to.
Where would they ever come? I have a small problem with Roger. Roger said I misinformed Cameroonians concerning my question to Honorable Joshua Oshie. I would like to tell him to tell me where the misinformation was.
Okay, no, we are going to come back.
No, because the first bag of Cameroonians were deported.
That is not our subject of discussion.
The Honorable did not tell us where they are. And you say I'm misinforming.
Mr. Johnny,
so I want to tell me how I misinformed.
No, that was outlined. That was outlined. It was just a assumption of the press. It's not our main subject. Because what we want to discuss is this coalition of 7 political parties who have come together to make sure that they move the electoral code in this country. And I want to start with you, Barrister Don Christopher. You attended that meeting that took place at the UDC headquarters here in Yaoundé. 7 political parties.
I want to inform the public to know that it's not a coalition of opposition political parties. It is a call of a meeting by opposition political parties, both in assembly.
Coalition and
coalition is that they have
confusion of grammar.
No. It's not a coalition. Okay. Take it that way. The public is understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is a call from an opposition political party inviting sister political of the opposition to come and respond favorably to a call made by a government armed institution, Elecam. Elecam in this country put out a circular and told Cameroonians to send in contribution for the revision of the electoral code. This is this clarion call that propelled, engineered the opposition now to start working on it. Because, let me tell you, since 1992, the stolen elections of 1992 in Fundi's hands, stolen, seized with power, we have had that crisis in all the elections till 2018 and 20. So that electoral revision is a clarion call from all Cameroonians, all organizations in Cameroon, except the CPDM. And within the CPDM, the progressives are calling for a revision of the electoral code, except the die-hard, those who say, I am Biaist, I am or Franchist, either you are Franchist or Biaist. Those are the people who do not want to see anything change on that code. Now, what called for it? In March, 1st March this year, 2021, Professor Maurice Kamto sent out an appeal, a declaration, an appeal to the public, that is, all political parties, all civil society organizations, calling on them that, in fact, it is time now we gather to address this question. At the time we were waiting for these people to agree that we will meet and talk, good, a machine from the National Assembly, the opposition machine from the National Assembly, took up the first step. That is, they outsmarted or yield and saw some goodness in what he proposed, and they took the front line, invited us, Cameroon Renaissance Movement, Professor Maurice Kamto. We participated because it is a common initiative. That initiative is common to all except CPDM people. It's common to CPDM progressives because they need it, but the hardliners, they will not. So when we came under the invitation of President Tomayo Ndamjoya, Tomaino Ndamjoya, she invited us. We came to the party headquarters. The first thing, since they had already brainstormed in the National Assembly, they had a project. So they read it to the 7 political leaders that were present. They are the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, represented by Professor Maurice Kamto, Tamayo Ndamjoya of CDU, Joshua Oshie of SDF, Cabral Libi of CPNR. You have Prince Ekoso of USDP.
Yeah, he just called.
Yes, who just called.
Yeah.
You have Pierre Como of UMS.
UMS, yeah.
You have the last person was the Zipang Ile of MP, Women Progressives. These are the 7 leaders that came. They answered to the call. The others, UNDP said they were coming, but at the end they didn't come. They have the mind to come. Then
what about those of the G20? Were they present?
No, they invited so many people.
Okay.
But the few that came were the first 7. It was decided on that first day that we can't go working on the document, else Cameroonians will not look at it to be serious. They will think that we are excluding some of them out there. Yeah. Some might complain that they didn't hear. So let's come out with a communique, inviting them. If you see that communique marks the presence of a meeting by 7 leaders, signatory, clear, and then calling on the others that there is a secretariat, a technical secretariat that has been set up, and the telephone numbers are there. Send in your contribution. The day we shall plan another meeting, you will now come with your proposals on the electoral code, the provisions of the electoral code that you think we can amend. And when we propose section this, all, you take the writings of the old, then now the modification, new, you now put. Those are the things discussed in that meeting, so as to make sure civil society organizations, political parties, all of them come, and then we see their contribution. It will be the technical secretariat that will gather all of that proposals and put on the table. Then they now will compile to come out with a single document, which when they finish, they will now propose to send the document to the conference of presidents of political leaders and civil society organizations, who shall reread, give a second reading, and then correct what they correct. And then now there will be a date for the adoption, and that adoption they will call all of them that contribute. Because in writing,
will it not take a longer period than
it's not a longer period, sir.
Can we do that within this year?
Yeah, in 1 month's time we might be able, we will finish.
Remember, it's not the government.
It's not the government.
No, please. What if the GEO does not give you authorization?
Excuse me. Yes, very good question.
He was there,
if the GEO does not give the authorization, I will see how the GEO will come and cut us from conferences, networking, because that's what we shall adopt next. We have Zoom meetings. We have other methods of meeting. I will see how the GEO will come with his police and gendarme and stand and say, stop the meeting here.
But we have seen the minister banning Zoom meetings. Zoom meetings. Abel, you are a journalist.
I want to say,
let me come.
Barrister.
Let me finish my expose.
The ideas are wonderful, but I want to ask you: do you think a fish will ever give money to a fisherman to go and buy a fishing hook? Or a fishing net?
Do you think the fisherman will stop looking for other means to catch that fish? So it will not.
So the the problem now is that
we shall go all the methods.
No, the issue
we
here,
shall
please.
go all the methods.
And
this is another method.
I'm not being pessimistic.
They have come and disturbed us. We say we shall go Zoom.
Okay, you people were disturbed.
Yes. I had not finished. When we did the meeting, we agreed that we should sign the first day, because if we put to sign after a declaration, they will come. We have previewed that. So it was signed the previous day. The next day was just to read. And we said if we came, because we know journalists, we said it, journalists there are people there, renseignement, agents of renseignement. As you invite the journalist at a press conference, the first thing is call a minister, because he will be getting his tips. Immediately inform the minister, oh, they are holding a meeting, they've called me. Hey, he has his tip. So we knew journalists are the ones leaking out information. Before they come, the police have been informed. And now, because they're the ones we invited. We didn't invite any other person except the journalist. So now, when we came,
and we did not inform the deal before the deal had to come in.
The deal, the time we did not tell you, we held our meeting without problem. The day we told you, and you see it is planned. The journalist comes inside, he's giving a report. No, they have not started, sir. Don't come, sir. We follow and we see.
When you invite us, we
immediately we stood up on the national anthem to start the meeting. The deal was stopping. We turned and looked. That's when I discovered police and now all over the place. We continued the anthem. After the anthem, the GEO now popped in and said he wants to know the regularity of the meeting, which law, which authorization. He is the DO of Yaoundé 1. You know, the DO in Cameroon knows that he has a duty. He has a text to apply when he hears that opposition wants to hold a meeting. That's when he comes up and start asking documents.
But you cannot accuse the press of leaking, because when you give the information, we need to make it mass media.
Must you tell the minister?
Please, we do not tell, but
must you tell the minister? My brother, it was an individual call. Individual calls. They called you individually.
I want to say something here, Barrister.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a politician, and I'm far from being one. I'm there for the common man.
Yeah.
And when I see you politicians hitting your heads down there, it disturbs me a little bit. I say the initiative is a good one, but now the people within who make up that meeting, who were there,
are they sincere?
Are you sure? Is not some of them who called to inform the Jew that they were having a meeting?
Thank you.
So I want to say this.
You are right. You are right with your question.
Yes, I want to single out.
And there is no way.
I want to single out.
There is no way we'll do a meeting without the public knowing.
Yes,
that is one.
Yes,
Number two, if the people are blacklegs, it's their cup of tea. But what we know, now, the project is a common project. This is the first project that has got opposition to come together.
But what is the integrity? Do you think that this opposition?
So why should they do? They should not try anything.
I'm the one asking questions here. Gentlemen.
I want to say something.
Let me do a follow-up of your question. Do you think that the opposition parties that you are rallying them can really sit and come out with a decision that we will work towards the development of this electoral code, when we know that opposition in Cameroon, be it a coalition, be it whatever name you want,
the answer is very straightforward.
They have never sat together to really come out for something concrete for the development of politics in Cameroon.
Listen, that's why the communique was a joint one.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, all those political parties who are there already have a draft. It's not today. SDF had his own after 92. Since he has struggled to push in parliament, the CRM had his own. Passed it through his own deputy, may he so rest in peace. It is there. It's not something will come against sit and draft.
What you are saying is
something we'll bring to compile. And that's why we say there's a technical secretariat who does the work. It's not the leaders. The leaders had already done it in their parties. And now when they bring, they compile, the people only validate and send a communique. That is all we give government.
Yes, I want to ask a few questions. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I want to tell Barrister that the initiative was good.
Yes,
thank
you. But the problem here, Barrister, is the fact that all what you are doing, whether you have a technical secretariat or not,
at the end the government will just sort it out.
Well, the end document, the proposals that you guys are going to come out with shall still be sent to the government, to send maybe to the parliament as a bill, and the government still has that power because they have that majority.
No, the majority CPDM. Don't call it the government.
So I want to say this. Never a day shall a fish give money to a fisherman that go and buy a fishing net.
Okay.
I want to say that politicians in Cameroon are disappointing me. One, to me, it seems as if they are on some sort of marketing, political marketing. I saw Professor Maurice Kamto. I think that was last September. Who was out for a certain political move. That was supposed to be some sort of groundbreaking.
Can we come back to
to say
let us not derail.
You don't announce a fight. You don't announce your techniques in a fight. You don't do that. When you are in a situation like this, with a regime like this, which you accuse you.
So you are trying to say that the opposition parties could have sat and walked on the silence ground without making noise?
Were the journalists even was their presence that necessary? Do you want the people or the world to know that you guys are doing something at all costs? Knowing very well it will not work.
Okay, thank you. Now,
maybe
to put it this way, we know that there have never been a private member be at the level of the National Assembly, and opposition parties in Cameroon doesn't have that majority. Now, if this thing had to pass through the government, would the government not amend already what you people are struggling to amend to suit their own wins and capacities? Barrister, what do you think?
The fight is at several stages.
Okay.
I will not reveal because I'm before the press. Listen, I will not reveal because I'm before the studio what strategy we'll have to get this bill through. The Minister of Higher Education, Communications Secretary of the CPDM, quickly rushed out with his committee. Oh, everything will pass. Who does not know? He's giving lessons to who? We know that bill must pass through a Cameroonian parliament. We have two documents we'll produce concerning this. I will not tell you. Because we know what we want to do. We know how far we'll go. The government has already understood what we want to do.
Maybe you tell the people so that we help.
We know it will go through parliament.
No, he must not say
we know it will. We know It must go through Parliament. But the bell is ringing. There must be a modification before future elections. Listen.
Okay.
It will be.
Okay.
But when we get the information and we are working before time, don't blame us. We know where we start and how we are going.
Okay.
Don't begin to cry like the government. The government is crying because it sees that
No, we want
the
to
time is
support.
coming. No, the time is coming when they revise that thing. And when that, everybody will be on it.
Okay.
Because one thing that has been blocking the opposition is because there was divergence.
Okay. Now there
Okay,
is no
like now,
divergence.
you say want to do the consensual
Is
code.
there no
Okay,
divergence?
Joshua decides and go out.
Yeah.
Cabral decides and go out.
Yeah.
Or Kamto decides and back out.
Yeah.
It will not happen now.
Okay.
I've told you it's a consensual idea.
All of
which
them needs to
idea
sit
that
with
everybody
green-
has
with
in
the-
his
with the
pocket.
initiative.
With all the green legs I know within that group.
No. That one has not got black
Good.
and green
No, let
legs.
us give the benefit of doubt. for
It
what
has
he's
not.
saying.
This code, the elaboration of this code has not got a green leg and a black leg.
Okay.
Because the
All
articles
the legs are one leg.
because we all know what we are all suffering from, and
Okay.
we modify it. There is no black leg.
Rogers, your party, the CPRM party, participated in this. Why did you people decided to go into this come together to bring change into the electoral code?
I hope I
Is that
will
not the
have-
answer ever?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I wanted to say just happened. I just wanted to say that I hope they will allow me to talk.
No, just go ahead. Go ahead.
Abel, we'll start first of all by saluting the initiative, and I want to tell Mr. Quentin not to be too pessimistic.
I'm not.
Yes. And you're not the only person. So many people on social media.
I'm afraid it's just a method.
And
No, you wanted to
come
break
back.
my
Let-
mind.
No, let
I will
him
not talk the
finish.
secret
Gentlemen, let him finish so that we have time to debate on something. Yes, go ahead.
we don't even
Maybe
have-
he will tell us
Don't
why
talk
his
the
party
secret
came in, and maybe from there we'll know what to say next. Go ahead, my brother.
Mr. Abel.
Don't call Quentin.
No,
Just call
I'm
Abel so
not-
that you go to your point.
Mr. Abel,
Yes, sir.
please don't rush me. I think I'm a political party. Barrister is from these two people cannot.
That is why
We can close the program, the two of us.
That
so
is why I put the two of
After
them
that, you come
together
and
so
beg for our votes. You vote like political
Gentlemen,
party members.
that- give us the
okay,
point.
Abel.
Yes.
In 2020, Honorable Cabral Libby on the 9th of August 2020 made a post on social Twitter. He said that the CPNRO is ready to carry this project to the National Assembly.
Okay.
You understand? Now,
He was talking as the president of the CPNRO
Yes,
party.
he said that he
I
is
thought he
ready-
was talking like Honorable Cabral Libby.
he was talking
about the party was
as
good.
the president. He
Okay.
said that he is ready to engage his political party to carry the project at the level of the National Assembly.
I
And
love
now
that.
to rectify something, the bill does not need to pass through the government.
Okay.
The parliamentarians take it direct to the National Assembly. It doesn't pass through the government. The government can bring its own bill.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But when something comes from the opposition don't submit it to the government. I
Yeah.
want to rectify
But
that.
now when you submit
Now,
to the parliament, the parliament has the
Abel.
prerogative to bring it on discussion.
Yeah.
And that is where the problem lies, because
Abel,
most of the
Abel,
time
let
the
me
parliament
land,
has
let me
never
land,
gone through.
Let me land. My president, Honorable Cabral Libby, made a tweet yesterday. He said that this is not a moment to talk about who convoked what, who did what. He said
And
that.
there's even a communique from your party relating to that.
Yes, I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Because what we are interested in, he said this is not a time to say it's an initiative from this political party or that, but we all know the initiative came from the National Assembly. And now, Abel, Barrister, because the latest date is official on the 15th, but that one is public on the 15th of April to receive the contributions of the
different
others.
political
Now,
parties.
this is the stand of the Cameroonian Party for National Reconciliation. It is
Yeah.
a beautiful initiative. That is why we are going in. Now, there are two things.
Yeah.
There's going to be the revision of the electoral code,
Yeah.
and there's going to be a revision of the electoral system. There are two different things that the
Are you
team is
getting it now?
Okay.
the team is going to work on.
Yes.
Now, this is what we believe in the Cameroonian Party for National Reconciliation. Why we are working to have the best electoral code we can have. We should not stop, or we of the Cameroonian Party for National Reconciliation, I'm coming out to the communique of our National Secretary, Mr. Aboubakary Massadine.
Yes.
We are not going to stop our movement of territorial implantation, massive registration to the electoral list, because if you have the best electoral code and Cameroonians are not registered to the electoral list, you are not going to win an election in this country. The truth is, we have to continue educating the Cameroonians while working for the best electoral code. And for once, Abel, we should salute this this initiative, which is very symbolic. We all know the tension that existed between our party, our president with the CRM party of Professor Maurice Kamto.
No, we don't need to go into that.
No, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I'm coming.
Yes.
I said the coming together of Professor Maurice Kamto and Honorable Cabral Libi together
and
to talk about
the other 5.
No, let me explain. Let me explain what I want to say. I want to tell Cameroonians that everything is possible. You understand?
Yes.
What they are
in politics,
not in life in general.
Yeah.
Everything is possible. You understand? The coming together of Honorable Cabral Libi and Professor Maurice Kamto on the same table. Most people never believe these two guys can come together. But I want to tell Cameroonians is the interest of Cameroon is bigger than
an individual.
Thank you very much. No, Abel.
Yes.
Abel.
Go ahead. Five more seconds. People want to talk.
See, Abel.
Yes.
This is not a time for pessimism. This is a time for optimism.
Yes.
But why we are doing the work for the commission, or the
because you already explained a lot of things concerning the
why
commission.
We are doing it. Cameroonians should not stop registering to the electoral list.
And that is a very
Cameroonians should struggle as much as possible to get involved in, because what we are planning is 2025. We need to have a voting capacity of at least 10 million Cameroonians. 10 million Cameroonians at least. And I want to guarantee Cameroonians that no matter the result that's going to come,
I got your point.
No matter the result that's going to come at the end of the day, the Cameroonian Party for National Reconciliation will not stop educating the mass. Will not stop telling Cameroonians to register to
we have a caller. We have a caller online, and I will give the caller just 20 seconds. Hello.
Yeah, thank you for the 20 seconds, Mr. Eber.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is Apostle Adam.
Yes, Apostle Adam. Go ahead.
Yes, I was just saying that I want to just say that somebody was talking about fish trying to collect money.
A fisherman was talking about a fisherman giving money to.
No, if a fish can give fisherman money for a fishing net.
Yes. So me, I will just salute the initiative.
Okay.
In our party, the FDR is our fight. That's why since our party is existing, we do not participate in any election in this country. But now we want to join this fight, so that we should bring this regime to see about the electoral code and others.
Okay.
Because you cannot understand that in this country, at 18 years, you cannot vote.
Okay, 20 seconds is almost running up.
Understand that in this country, we cannot have election having 2 rounds.
Okay. Pastor Adam, can I invite you here next Saturday, because we are almost running out of time and I know you have a lot of things to talk.
If God give us the grace.
Okay, thank you. We are going to talk about it over the week. For that, you come over on Saturday. Maybe we'll still continue to talk about this issue of electoral code and to see what should be changed. But I have a question coming from a leader of a political party, and maybe he's addressing to his colleague. He said it is not bad for some political parties to hold meeting, but it becomes illegal when those meetings are organized without legal authorization, and no patriotic Cameroonian will encourage illegal movement in this country. And it's coming from the leader of the FNNC, a party of the Northwest region. He says his name is Kambi Promise.
When you want to talk of illegalities, the forces of law and order and the DO have no right to come and stop a meeting in the party headquarters of a political party.
Meeting.
It's a private meeting in a party headquarters. It's not a public meeting.
Was the FNNC present in that meeting?
Abel.
Political parties don't invite their colleagues.
Okay.
In a particular zone. Have we used the community hall? Have we used the governor's office? We are using a private prison that the law protects.
Okay.
All meetings that go within her is coming is violating the rights of that.
Okay.
The
What is the man
1990
talking?
law,
At-
the 1990 law
yes.
talks about declaration, not authorization.
Authorization.
You understand?
So maybe
Did you people declare?
The 1990 law talks about if you want to do a public manifestation, you have to declare it. You
Was this
understand?
one declared?
But this one was not a public manifestation. It was a private meeting. I want him not to. He should not confuse.
Okay.
That's how Cameroonians
Now-
are. Something good, they will
Yes.
castigate it.
Okay.
Abel.
What
No-
did we do wrong
Nothing.
to hold a private meeting?
Nothing.
The Jew came there for what?
Something.
Yes.
The police came there for what?
Well, Mbe, let me say that it was a wonderful idea to see, because in Cameroon, many political party leaders, political parties behave exactly like churches, like Christian churches that are enemies.
It's
And
very,
please,
very easy
I'm the
to
one talking now.
criticize.
I'm the one talking.
Very easy to criticize.
That is my role as
I'm just
a civil.
a
we don't
civil.
we don't
Wait,
have-
wait. No. You
please,
guys don't have
allow
a
me to
monopoly
talk.
to interrupt.
Political parties.
After this radio session on Monday, go and create yours and correct the errors
And
of the
create
other
what?
political parties.
Have I finished talking?
Go and create it and correct the errors. It is easy to criticize.
But that's wrong.
It is easy. It is not wrong. It is easy. You feel comfortable. You feel comfortable to criticize, but you don't propose, and that is typical of youth. That is why you see the problem of Cameroon.
My time to talk.
It is your time. You were interrupting when others were talking, gentlemen. You were interrupting. You were interrupting when others were talking.
Gentlemen,
No, it
let's
is my time to
let's
talk.
take this caller
If you want to
online.
criticize,
Hello, sir. Let's take this caller online. Hello. Hello, sir.
Criticize, insult, political parties are like
Hello.
Small CPD and
Please.
Okay.
Abel.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
free to say it.
No, I'm not
But
saying
we are
you.
going to prove
Hello?
you wrong.
I say we have small CPD and
Yes.
parties out there.
Yes. What is your name?
Any party.
Let's take this caller online, please. Hello, sir. Yes.
I noticed that
You are rounding up.
people are afraid of what I'm saying, but I'm saying this: that for the first time, seeing people who behave like enemies coming together is a good initiative.
Okay.
And the young man who
We got
thinks
that
he knows
point.
everything,
No,
don't allow me to talk.
No,
Let me
no,
say something.
he doesn't know everything.
Eben,
He was just trying to put a
Eben.
point. Yes, go ahead.
Can I allow me to say?
Yes,
my-
go
you
ahead,
are making me
Mister.
to lose
Go
my
ahead.
words.
Go ahead.
Now I ask.
You have 20
The
seconds.
main problem, yes, let me have 20 seconds. After sitting here for 3 hours, not talking. Now I ask. The main problem, is it only the electoral code that's the problem? The problem is this. Will that gathering take into consideration, one, the constitution of Elecam that we have now supervising elections? Two, will it take into consideration the constitution of the electoral of the constitution? Allow me to talk. Allow me to talk. It is my opinion. It's not yours.
A committee is still working.
Maybe I'm helping the committee. I'm helping the committee, right?
For once, be
I'm helping the committee that people have to look into the constitution of Eleka. Where? What type of man is this? What type of man is this? I have the impression that there's a
Go
second.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now,
Rogers,
and the
Rogers,
last, and the
gentlemen,
last.
gentlemen.
I did not attack your party in any way. I did not. You have spoken about it for us, and
us.
you could not make your
Gentlemen.
point. It is not during my time that you make your
Okay.
point.
Not
I'm saying
gentlemen, you are
this.
rounding up.
I'm saying this.
Yes.
This aspect of conscience buying that goes through, where Cameroonians don't vote for good political ideas, but they vote for savon and bottle of beers, and Elecam allows it. How are you people in that your coalition struggling to stop it? Because that is what is killing.
That is why we are talking of
Okay, young
educating
man,
the
I'm
mass
proposing now,
in the
and you may
Cameroonian
learn
Party
from
for
that.
National Reconciliation. We have a project of educating the masses
But you
on
must be
this.
polite before you
And all
educate.
those
You are not
questions
polite.
will be
You
answered
think
next
you're
week.
You
polite?
said you don't need
As
us.
You think you're
You don't
polite?
need
I didn't
us.
say I didn't need you. I
You
don't
said
need you.
it.
I
I
said
have
if
a
you
witness.
think the
You said
opposition
the two of
parties
you
are
can
not doing
talk, you don't
enough,
need us.
I
Okay.
should
People are
refer to
already in
them
the
as
political
Thank you
party
much.
churches.
It is
now.
here
If
that
you
we wrap
think they
up
are not
this
doing
edition of
enough,
Topics and
go in
Realities.
and
And joining me in the studio is
Go in and correct the
Jean-Marie Anaba. Good afternoon to you,
Good
Jean-Marie.
afternoon.
Destroy your life.
Good afternoon, Abel Belasamari. Good
Yeah, it's a
afternoon
pleasure
to your guests.
for me to welcome you.
Merci.
You saw how heated is it? The 7 political parties coming in to change the electoral code.
Oui, tout à fait.
So what shall we be expecting what should we be expecting in the program Barometer Politics?
Oui, dans Baromètre Politique, on va prendre la montée en rouge pour
Voilà.
aller voir